While they're whispering back and forth, Orlo just like slowly creeps up in between them and is just like, "Hey guys, what are you talking about?"
Ah!
Oh dear God, Laia, you were right. I should never have given him this stuff.
I used to think it was funny, but now that it's affecting me, I don't like it.
And he like looks over and he's like, "Magic robes."
And Giller's just like, what? Yeah, yes, that's one of the things that I had said.
I just got these from a tailor. What's magical about these? They didn't say anything about them being magical. Orlo rips the robes off and throws them on the
They're just laying on the table, unless you were sleeping in them, which I wasn't sure.
Yes, of course he was. These are his fancy new clothes. He doesn't want to let them go. He also doesn't know about preserving them. This is just what he wears now.
He kind of like looks at them, and he as you throw them into the pile on the ground, he's like, what I can currently assess is limited. I suppose that I can identify them for you if you wish. I just assumed you knew that they were magical.
Well, unless you want a naked Loxodon running around your mansion, yeah, identify them, because I'm not putting them back on until we know what they do.
You know what, Orlo? Good for you.
And then he just like flashes a wink and like quietly at Roland and is like, "You know what they say? They juicy."
That's
They do say that. That's true. They do.
It's around. It's around. I've heard it in several places.
Also,
Actually,
Lio,
hold on. I want to activate my brand of castigation. Where is that guy?
He is. Let's see. He's about. Maybe
He's at the Tampa Waffle House at 3 a.m.
He's maybe a quarter to between a quarter and a halfway from where you guys are to Brackercord.
Are there any small towns near that area?
No, the only thing in between you guys is just like roads and just wilderness mostly.
Well, I can tell you for certain that they've heard about Stay Juicy on the road between here and Brackercord, about a quarter mile that way.
Word
Sorry,
travels
Dom,
fast.
that was all just trying to set up for a stupid comment. But I love you for indulging me. It's still useful information. We know he's on the way back.
Roland's gonna speak up and say, "Would you mind taking a look at my armor? I also purchased it at Brackercord, and I didn't have it enchanted at all."
Well, are you looking to understand if it is magical as well, or?
Yes. My worry is we've been somehow marked.
No, it seems normal. It's very nice, if that's any consolation. I didn't mean that.
Oh, thank you so much. I got a great deal on it.
No, Laia got a great deal on it.
Thank you, Lyle.
So, you see Giller casting Identify again. Well, not again, but casting Identify on your robes, Orlo. And he kind of like, as he's doing this, because you see that at a certain point, like, he's very calm and just doing his magic, and Identifies a very simple spell, but at one point he kind of like snaps like back, and he goes, Yes, they're they seem to be imbued with some type of shadow energy. I'm not sure if what happened in that room was a dream or your connection with something, but everything seems to be fine with them. I don't sense anything negative.
Yeah, as soon as Orlo hears Shadow, he already starts like putting them back on, and it is just like, okay, like it's just like Shadow. Yeah, I know all about the shadows. That's fine with me. That's all I am. Puts them back on as you're like, as Gillard is going on that. He's like, yeah, I do have a little bit of a connection with the shadows. Yeah, so I guess that makes sense. I'll explore more of it later.
You know what? I'm just not going to worry about it.
I'm not sleeping right now.
They have been added to your inventory, Orlo. They may need changed, but that's where we'll start. But yeah, so Giller comes in after this all happens, and he walks back out into the foyer, and he's like, okay, now that that's all done, we have some planning to do. He
Makeover.
he waves his hand, and a chair kind of like slides underneath him as he's sitting down. What else is it that we can do here?
Well, did you get any messages back from the people we asked you to message?
Oh, yes. Sorry. I apologize. I did not get much sleep last night. I was speaking with many, many people. Yes. Your druid friend said he would send what they were able just to let him know. I believe, master is not the correct term, young paladin, but he had quite an interesting attitude about things.
What did he have to say?
I mentioned that you and I had met and that we were going to potentially have to handle the situation at Brackacord, and he said, the monotheists certainly will be there.
That's old Charlie.
Your friend, Emmerin, I obviously don't know him. Is there any way that you think we could get a hold of him, somebody that I may know to reach out to, or any way you can contact him?
Oh, I'm sure I could get a message to him.
We also left him a copy of our of the cipher that I wrote, so we could physically write to him.
Forgot about that. Good memory and/or notes.
Bofa.
Bofa.
Both of these notes.
Both of these notes, yeah.
I hate it here.
That was incredible. Both of these notes. Yeah, that's a great idea. It seems like a little bit of a utopia here. Do you have a? It's gonna be an odd thing to say, but an urchin network?
And he like leans forward. A what?
A weaponized
It,
orphan.
it's more or less weaponized poverty. Yeah.
We don't have much of that here, thankfully.
Yeah, that was my impression too. You'll have to talk to the leaders of Bracken Accord about how they can turn that around. But I'll lose my method of communication if you do. Anyway, can you teleport someone to Bracken Accord?
Your shortest and dirtiest mage.
He'll fit right in.
Oh. As though he himself were an urchin.
Teleport directly, no. We have foregone that nicety because of our deals. We did not want them to feel threatened by our ability to just appear at any point, which in hindsight now makes a lot more sense.
Interfere.
You send a message to Elise and just let her know where to come in.
Let's not do that just yet. Was there any word from Ovram?
He doesn't know Avram specifically. He has met Sorith and dealt with him, but he does not know Avram specifically. He can reach back out to Sorith and have him communicate with him if that's something that you would like.
Yeah, let's do that.
Avram does not have much in the way of resources available. You saw pretty much the entirety of it when you first arrived with Armorall TM. Is there something specific that you were looking for from Avram?
Not necessarily. I guess more just keeping him updated. And if he decided to show up in his dragon form, that could be helpful too.
That could be devastating to the entire world. Yes, you're correct.
It's fine. What's the world done for us lately?
Exactly.
It's not my world. I'll go back to my own.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
So you're gonna write the note to Seti. Fleur Blanc, we contacted the Druids, Avram. Is there anybody else that you guys want to reach out to?
Maybe you can write that handsome young god, Liar. I'm sure he would like to take all his buddies up here and come visit.
Luke has his own responsibilities, and I still haven't received a letter back from the last letter I wrote him.
Oh, and you could maybe give him a little scarf or something to tie around his armor like a charm. Like those old poems.
Who do you think I am? I already gave him a lock of my hair.
Oh. Luke. Luke.
When your hair is separated from your body, does it change back into whatever your normal form would be?
I would say that it would stay the same as whatever it was cut off as.
Turns into Stardust.
And he hasn't written you back yet. In Brackercore, we call that getting spirited.
Well, hold on.
It's only been a couple of days, all right?
The postal system around here is not what you would call reliable.
Is it because it's run by wizards?
Well, no. Just logistics generally are in a poor state. You let the girl have her dream.
To be fair, you guys do both know letters are sent generally by some type of bird. because sending a letter on the road, it's arguably about as reliable as sending a letter in the normal post office in the United States. It might get there.
She is young, love. You be nice.
Fine, but you're doing that thing I like.
What that is.
Yeah, you do.
But thank you.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Okay.
Orlo,
Anyway, shape up. He's sending a letter. It's coming. It's on.
While they're whispering back and forth, Orlo just like slowly creeps up in between them and it's just like, "Hey guys, what are you talking about?"
Ah!
Oh dear God, Laia, you were right. I should never have given him this stuff.
I used to think it was funny, but now that it's affecting me, I don't like it.
Never mind. I almost got political with that one, but we're gonna leave that alone.
Oops, here comes the consequence.
That's why I'm voting Bull Moose this year.
So, is there anybody else that you guys would like to reach out to?
How about Elmenhof? You know, that entire city with a standing army that we liberated?
Good point.
That
We
seems-
actually marched a large portion of to somewhere.
The southern outpost. And it wasn't a military detachment. It was more like... I don't know why I'm saying this in Roland voice. It was like a bunch of diplomats.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was more of a procession.
Yeah. Anyway, let's write them. They owe us.
Maybe let's not phrase it that way in the message.
Well, we'll be nice. They owe us.
All right. Anybody else? I think that's really about it, right? Those were all the people that I had, unless there's anybody else you guys can think of specifically.
I guess the Sanguine Circle. I know we didn't see them in Brackercord, but oh, hey, my uncle.
Is that somebody that you definitely want to reach out to? Because, as you know, he is working actively for the church right now.
And didn't you just say he like knows things anyway?
You're talking about that discount paladin.
And he
Well,
just
I don't-
stares at you for a second.
I don't know.
What?
Emmerin,
Uncle Desi is not a paladin.
yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why he said discount.
Well, if you guys think it's not a good idea to reach out to him, that's all right. But I think he'd be on our side.
I think that is a meeting we should handle in person.
I don't disagree with that.
I mean, you know your uncle best, but it would be a risk.
Who's Uncle Best?
He's the fellow in the armor who smells suspicious, you know.
What's his name?
Devlin?
Devlin.
Oh yeah. I thought that was Devlin. Who's Uncle Best?
Devlin Best,
What?
the best uncle.
Emmerin, I had no idea your last name was Best.
No, my first name is Best.
Yeah, best Emmerin.
Oh, so in you, so in
Best-kind
your
Emmerin.
lineage, you put the surnames first. I get it.
Orlo, I have no idea.
No,
what you're talking about.
Orlo,
My
sir. Sir is a title. I'm sir.
Yeah, you're Sir Roland. So Best Emmerin,
Right.
Best Devlin.
Devlin.
What?
Best.
No, Orlo, no.
Okay. This
This
has
has gone on too far. This has gone too
First,
far.
man.
My brain hurts. This is enough. Emmerin, give me a flat luck check. Just a d20 roll.
Just a D20. 18.
As you're kind of talking through this as a group, Giller looks at you and he goes, Devlin. And he kind of, he's kind of mulling the name over in his head. And he goes, he had a wizard with his party. Is she still with them?
The elf.
Yes, Alondra. She...
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah. Last I knew.
She seemed pretty cool, actually.
I used to work with her. I can set up a meeting if that's something that you're interested in. I can bring them here with no danger, hopefully.
A little danger. Come on. Live a little.
There's plenty of danger coming.
That sounds good to me, yeah.
Okay. So, the list is as follows. Sorith and the Druids, Avrim, Seti, the Sanguine Circle, Devlin, Elmenhoff, the Fleur Blanc. At this point, you guys are going to wait until the church responds formally. That is going to take a few days. Is there anything in particular during that time you guys would like to do?
What's my boy Finnegan up to?
Knew that was coming.
Being
Finnegan's
chaotic.
baked.
We about the... Hey, Finnegan, we got war coming. What do you got for
I want to arrange a message to Seti, however fast I can get it to him, whether that's someone teleporting me there, zipping us along, dimension dooring, whatever, to see if he can get some spies inside the church. Give us some, like, sit rep.
Do we trust him for real, for real?
Emmerin trusts him for real.
Okay.
Seti, the head of the Thieves Guild, not Drunkle. Dunkle?
Oh, okay.
Dead uncle?
Thieves go, do we trust him?
Emmerin trusts him.
Does Roland object?
Roland does not object out loud.
So they get a couple of guys in, and they're in pretty easy communication back and forth with you. It's not super far. I mean, it's not a ton of travel time between the places. So you guys will be able to get the message you send out immediately to Seti, and then you'll be able to get a correspondence back from him at least once. Let me see. So you'll be able to get 2 back with some intel over the course of these 4 days. Is there something in specific you're looking for that you'd want to ask about, or just to see what's going on?
Maybe they could give us, like, approximations of soldier numbers, what they're outfitted with, if they're mobilizing, if so, where they're going, if there's any scuttlebutt.
The numbers, they don't have an exact figure on, because a lot of what they can do is kind of move through the church inside. So they're not seeing, like, where the actual army and stuff is. But you would definitely know that there is some serious movement. They're trying to get things organized. You see people running back and forth. Not you, but is what they're telling you. with messages and yelling, and it's very chaotic inside the church at this point. You also do know the church is exceptionally well funded. They have a ton of access to great weapons, armor, shields. They have cavalry detachments. They have they are arguably the most, by a long shot, equipped army that exists in this world.
Sick.
That seems great for us. Great.
Now,
How
that being
about-
said,
Yeah, good.
Sir Roland, with this, you would also go ahead and give me a history check.
Doing a little history. A 19.
You know that they are very well equipped. They do have pretty decent numbers. This is something that you guys would obviously keep relative tabs on as just a precautionary measure. But you do know that there is two things with them, that they have the religious facet. They definitely they do have clerics and things of that nature. But when it comes to anything beyond that, like, they don't have spellcasters really, other than the clerics and healers. They don't have bowmen. They don't have a lot of ranged attackers. They don't have like stealthy spy people for the most part. Like, it is just like the army, infantry, and the cavalry for the most part. So that is something that you would be aware of.
Okay. During these, I'm sorry, you is that BK's thing resolved?
Yeah. Was there anything else, BK, like on top of that, like just as follow up, that you would want to ask about?
Potential. I'm guessing it's so big that there's no way we're gonna find a way into the church that's gonna allow us to sneak around.
Like you guys,
Yeah.
there's almost no chance unless you actively are going in with like either specifically to fight everybody, or going in fully like enchanted out of being like disguised and hidden and things of that nature.
Okay. That's it for me.
Okay. Sir Roland, what would you like to be doing?
So during these few days, Roland's going to inspect the limited forces that are available in the city, like what their ground forces are, and kind of brief them on what he knows about the enemy, and sort of brief them like, listen, these guys they're a huge force on the ground, but they're pretty ill equipped to deal with guerrilla tactics. You ambush them, you lure forces into canyons, or into wooded areas where your bowmen can pick people off, aim for the officers, aim for the commander. This is what a unit commander looks like. If an officer is going to be the dude with the gold ridge on his helmet, shoot him with an arrow and then run. And then by the time the rest of the guys realize that their commander's gone, they don't know what's going on, and then you can loop around and capture. So he's advising the standing forces here how best to combat the church field. Also, what do those forces look like when he's going around and doing his inspection?
There are much in the opposite side of the spectrum. The mages have a few small detachments of spellcasting assassins that kind of like are meant to just teleport into places, take out people that need to be taken out, and then get out. Largely ranged spellcasters, artillery, fireballs, things like that, right? And then they do have the ability to summon elementals and constructs that will be under the control of some of these mages. So with those specifically, they're more akin to siege units that are like larger, but are quite strong. Like they have a toughness to them.
Is there any way that Roland can ask around about any mages that might specialize in illusion? So, like, say we have, you attach an illusion guy to one of these units who can make it look like that, we have a giant unit of soldiers coming down the road to help, like, maneuver the opposing force into a place where it would be easy to pick somebody off or force them.
Yeah, that's absolutely something that would exist. There wouldn't be many of them that would be strong enough casters to do it on a large level, but you could probably get enough to do at least like a solid core group of one of those that can really like try to push armies and deter them and move them.
Cool.
Would you like to, in this time, also read your book?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Roland's going to be reading the book. And also, I don't know if I said this yet, but he sends like a full report of everything that's happening to the Fleur Blanc.